Hello and welcome to Competology Academy, and today we are going to discuss one of the very important topic, that is one nation one election. And recently it is in news because the central government is taking the steps to introduce the one nation one election system in India, and for that matter the steps have already been initiated. And recently Ram Nath Kovind, the former president of India, has been appointed as the chairman of the committee which will look into the prospects, look into the efforts, look into the system, look into the working, look into the feasibility of one nation one election system. So here we will discuss it in the detail, this whole topic. So first of all, those who have not subscribed our channel, please go on to subscribe the channel and press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload new videos or whenever we are live, so that you can get the information about that quite instantly, right? So here, first of all, what is one nation one election? So it clearly says that the elections for the Lok Sabha, that is the parliament, the lower house, as well as the state legislatures will be conducted simultaneously. So there will be no separate election for each and every state legislature as well as separate election for the Lok Sabha, and the whole electoral process will be conducted after 5 years simultaneously. All the Lok Sabha seats and all the state assembly seats will go for the poll. And this system was being contemplated quite for some time, because there were many issues related to the electoral system which is currently in existence because of various things, right? So here, first of all, why it is in news? So the government called a special session of the parliament between 18th to 22nd September. So here a special session has been called upon to discuss about this topic, that is one nation one election. And for that matter, the parliamentary affairs minister Prahlad Joshi have clearly mentioned that some of the issues that are quite important will be discussed in this session, as well as center has reportedly constituted a committee that will be headed by the former president Ram Nath Kovind to look into the issues, to look into the feasibility and the other things or the methodology of the one nation one election system. And he was of the view of having a one nation one election system right in 2017, when he was elected as president. At that very time itself he had mentioned about this thing, that one nation one election theory or system should be adopted so as to focus more on the governance, and the nation should not remain for a longer period of time in the election mode. So he was of that view, and BJP had also promised the one nation one election system in its 2014 poll manifesto itself. On its poll manifesto, that page number 14 of its 2014 poll manifesto, you will find that the BJP had itself mentioned that they are going to introduce, they will work for introduction of one nation one election system. Let us talk about what is the need that should be done, what needs to be done to introduce the one nation one election system. So first of all, there will be a need of constitutional amendment, and because of this many of the opposition parties are not in favor of this one nation one election system, because they are thinking that there are many issues related to this, and the government, which is the party which is in power, is trying to use up the power or something like that. They are making the allegations, right? As well as, after the constitutional amendment, there will be need of ratification by the state assemblies. This constitutional amendment act should be sent to the state assemblies also for their consent as well, because this is a federal system of governance with centralizing nature or centralizing tendencies. So here the whole Constitutional Amendment Act, which is going to make a change in the federal structure itself, because the election of the state assemblies is a federal issue. Because, and for that matter, if there is going to be any change in the system of election for the state assemblies or state legislatures, then it should be ratified by the more than half of the states also, right? Now, what is the history of one nation, one election? So, although there was no system of one nation, one election, but after the enactment of the new constitution in 1950, 26 January 1950, the general elections were conducted in 1952, first general elections, and at that very time, the whole nation had gone for the election, for the polls. So all the state assemblies and the Lok Sabha itself went to election, went to poll, and the first general assembly of the parliament as well as the state assemblies were constituted, and this system continued for 1960s, because initially in most of the state what was happening, clear cut mandate was with the party, that was Congress. So there was no issue of horse trading, no issue of fragmented mandate, no issue of hung assembly. So there was no issue of continuous electoral process, like the government fell down because of no confidence motion, and such kind of thing was not going on. So the election was being conducted after an interval of 5 years, when the assemblies used to complete their whole lifespan, which was there according to the constitution. But after that, what happened, generally there was an issue that the Congress party started to lose the footing in some of the states, specifically in those states where the Communist Party was gaining the mandate, they gaining the foothold, like that of Kerala, like that of West Bengal, Tripura, and such kind of states, where the Congress party was facing a strong competition from the Communist Party, and later on some other regional parties started to come into existence, like that of the DMK, IADMK, Telugu Desam Party, various regional parties started to come into existence, and thereafter the fragmented mandate, the hung assembly, the midterm elections, such kind of systems came into existence. And because of this, what happened, nowadays you will see that one or the other state is there where the election is going on each and every year. After, you will see that there is not more than 6 to 8 months gap between any of the election within the nation. So this is the situation. Although there was a situation between 1950s and 1960s when there was no such system of continuous election, and one nation one election system was there by default, not by the constitutional provisions, but by default there existed one nation one election, right? Now, what are the benefits of one nation one election? If there would haven't been any benefit, then why should anybody will focus on such kind of things, such kind of constitutional amendment? And as you all see that the ruling party is always on fire, always in front of the fire of that opposition parties, various allegations are being made with, they are fury of that. So because of all this, the ruling party, the BJP, is going to face a huge opposition from various opposition parties as well as the regional parties, right? Only there are two parties which are not part of NDA, but still they go on to favor the ruling party, that is one of the Andhra Pradesh government party, that is the, what we say, the that Congress that had fragmented, and one is that of Odisha government, that is the Biju Patnaik Janata Dal, Biju Janata Dal, right? So here Jagan Mohan Reddy's party and the Biju Patnaik's party are only in favor of BJP, although they are not part of NDA, but they are not in favor of Congress also, right? So here the first benefit will be reduction in the cost of conducting the election, because the movement of the man and the money power, the personals and the other things will be only after 5-year interval. So there will not be that much of cost that will be incurred for conducting the elections, right? So first benefit will be that thereafter would ease the burden on the administration and the security forces, because you will see that whenever there is election in any of the state, then the administrative system, whole administrative system goes on to focus only on the election. The security forces has to be mobilized to ensure the free and fair election. So such kind of things goes on continuously. One year after another year, you will see the elections in one state or the another state. The CRPF have to be deployed, the paramilitary forces have to be deployed, the administrative system focuses on the maintenance of the EVM and this and that, various other things goes on, right? The revision of the electoral roll. So such kind of things goes on, but it will reduce this kind of burden on the administrative and the security forces, and they will have to focus on these things. They will have to mobilize their resources, their time and effort only after 5 years of interval. So there will be less burden. Government can focus more on governance rather than being in the election mode. So this is one of the major allegation that is being made on various parties. Like such kind of allegations are made on the BJP to the most extent, because everybody says that BJP हमेशा election mode में ही रहती है, right? And that will reduce, even all the parties remain in the election mode because there is election in one state or the other state every year, and the doings, the functionings, the allegations, the working modality and other things of one state, of any party which is in power in that party, affects their probability of winning or losing the elections in the other state. Like the allegations that were made on the ruling party or the alliance, that is NDA, in Manipur, will definitely impact the elections that are going to be conducted in November, December in Madhya Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh and these other states, right? So that is going to impact BJP, that is going to impact the NDA alliance. And here again they will go on to what? They will go on to damage control mode. So they will not focus on governance, rather than they will start becoming becoming a party which is in election mode. Now the central government will even focus on doing the damage control, so that they should not lose their ground in those states where the election is going to be conducted, that of Madhya Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh and the other states, right? As well as it will increase the voters turnout. Many of the people say that हर साल तो election नहीं होते रहता है, कहाँ कहाँ वोट देने जाए भाई. So that is again a problem, and that goes on to reduce the voter turnout. Nowhere you will see that the voter turnout is on an average more than 70%. And that is also a recent trend. Before 2010, this trend was only around 50%. More than 50% people were not going to the polling booth, or were not interested in the voting system and electoral system at all. And the general mentality is that मेरे एक वोट से क्या होता है, right? But you should go on to study the story of CP Joshi, who was the Congress president at that very time. It was around 2004 or 5 when Rajasthan elections were going on, and he was the probable candidate for chief minister's post. But throughout the day he was leading the election, and at the end he lost his election by 1 vote. And Ashok Gehlot became the chief minister of Rajasthan. So that was the condition, that was the situation which was created by just 1 vote. So every vote counts. So the voter turnout should be high, so that whoever gets elected from any seat should have the faith of majority of the people of his constituency, right? So this is an important factor. And for that matter, if one election, one nation system, one nation, one election system comes into existence, then the people will think that just I have to go once in 5 years to the polling booth, I will cast the vote for the state assembly also, I will cast the vote for the Lok Sabha seats also, parliament lower house also. So I will not have to make too much of effort, and once this election will be over, then we will get a clear cut government that will be there for 5 years, right? So such kind of situation will increase the voter turnout, although it is not necessary, but that may increase the voter turnout. Thereafter, less interruption in the welfare schemes and its implementation, like wherever the election has been notified, with immediate effect, the model code of conduct comes into existence in that assembly election, that state, or throughout the nation if the parliamentary elections has been announced, the dates are out. And thereafter, what will happen? The government cannot introduce, cannot announce any of the welfare scheme, because it comes under the unfair practices to influence the election by the means of announcement of the welfare scheme, or trying to grab the attention of the electoral roll. So for that matter, the model code of conduct hinders the whole implementation, announcement, or whatever it is of the welfare schemes. The only thing will be there that goes on is those schemes which are already in existence, that will continue, but no new welfare scheme can be introduced. Even you cannot introduce, even the railway minister cannot announce a new set of train for any railway station, a new stoppage for any railway station. Even the existing railway, the existing train which is plying between two stations cannot get an extra stoppage, an extra halt on any route or any station, because it will again be against the model code of conduct, right? So such kind of situation comes into existence, and you will find that there is election every year in some state or the other. So because of this, the welfare schemes get interrupted, get impacted. And if one nation, one election system comes into existence, then this kind of interruption will be only after 5 years, for a short time period of span. And if enough of the administrative personnel, enough of the security forces are engaged in the electoral process, then this whole election system can be conducted in 1 day, 2 day, or within a week also. And thereafter, the continuous system will be for the governance system, for the welfare of the people, for the welfare of the citizens. So these are the benefits, but none of the system is without disadvantages. You should know about that. So here, first disadvantage is that the amendment to the constitution and the other legal framework are there, which will be meddled with, and this will be in such a way that may not reflect the mindset, may not reflect the view, may not reflect the perspective which the framers of the constitution were having in their mind with relation to India, what they were thinking about India in future, right? Next is, regional issues might get overshadowed by the national issues. So here, the regional issues like the regional development, industrialization of some of the backward areas or something like that, may get overshadowed with the national issues, like that of Article 370, like that of Jammu and Kashmir issue, like that of border dispute with China. So such kind of issues may overshadow the regional issues that is related to the welfare schemes in Northeast, that is related to the development of the tribal areas, that is related to the development of the hinterlands of India. So such issues may be placed at the back burner if one nation, one election system is there, and the national issues will come to the forefront, right? And the whole electoral population who are eligible to cast their vote in the elections may go on to vote according to the national issues and the regional issues. The whole perspective, the whole mindset may get affected, right? So here, the next thing is that the accountability of the government will reduce. So again, the continuous process of election keeps the government, keeps the party in power accountable to the people. Like none of the political party will afford to disadvantage any of the population in any state where they are in power. They will always try to maintain a good law and order situation. They will try that there should be no allegations on their government related to the corruption or any such kind of issue, illegal issue or unethical issue or immoral issue, so that their perspective of winning the election in the other states gets jeopardized. So they will always focus on such kind of thing, and this increases their accountability. The government will remain accountable to the public because of continuous process of election. एक जगह पे अगर दंगा मचाएंगे दूसरे स्टेट में उनका सीट चला जाएगा, they will lose their seats and they will lose the power, right? So this increases the accountability. Thereafter, absolutism of the party in the power will increase, because the party which has got elected to the state assembly or the central legislative parliament, that is the Lok Sabha, they are in power, so they will become absolute. They will think that 5 साल के बाद ही जो होना है सो होना है, so we have to think about the election, we have to think about the people after 5 years. Till then our place is secure, our power is secure, so why to bother about the people? So this may again become a issue, right? Next, the power hunger among the political parties will increase in the unethical electoral practices. Why the power hunger? Because the hungry political parties will think that if we will lose the election, if we will lose the power, then for next 5 years we will remain out of power. So they may start to use the unethical practices for winning the election, like cash for vote. Such kind of things goes on everywhere. Cash for vote, liquor distribution, parties, mutton parties, such kind of things goes on everywhere, and everybody knows about that. This is nothing new in the Indian electoral system, right? So such kind of unethical practices may increase during the electoral process in the nation, if there will be that of one nation one election system. Like there was one video that was circulating when Tamil Nadu was going for the election, that on the border areas, on the day when the election was going on to commence in the Andhra Pradesh, the people were distributing the beer cans, beer carrots to the voters, because in the state there was election, so on that very day there was dry day. So the people were distributing, the parties were distributing the beers just on the border of the state to influence the electoral result of that state, Tamil Nadu. So such kind of things goes on everywhere, right? So these unethical practices will increase if one nation one election system is there. So we have to curtail such kind of things. On what should be done, we have discussed about the benefits, we have discussed about the disadvantages, and every system has the pros and cons. So it should not be the attitude that तो फिर क्या करें, कुछ करना ही नहीं है. So that cannot be feasible. So here it is a good idea, as there will be election in one, in the nation, throughout the nation at one time, and there will be no such situation when there will be election in one part of the other part of the nation every year. So this will reduce the interruption in the governance system, but there is need for better deliberation before implementation, like those of the disadvantages which are there, how to weed out those disadvantages, how to reduce the corrupt practices in the election, how to reduce the meddling of the election, how to conduct free and fair election, the allegation free election. Such kind of deliberations, electoral reforms are needed, right? Next, all the parties should come on board. So there should be an unanimous decision that all the parties should accept that there should be one nation one election, for the betterment of the citizen, not for the betterment of the political parties. Nowadays the political parties have become like the corporates. They are always thinking about the beginning of the power. It was the days, earlier days, gone days, when the political parties and the politicians were thinking about the welfare of the people. Now it is a matter of career, a matter of commerce, right? Now, issues of power concentration and absolutism must be addressed first. So it should not be like that the political party which gains the power at the center as well as goes on to win maximum number of states, so he should become those political leaders, those political parties should become the dictator, should become the absolute despotic people. Like they will be thinking like the whatever I am saying, that is better for the people, right? So such kind of things, and the power concentration in one hand, the personality cult problem, these should be addressed. Then only the one nation one election system will be beneficial for the Indian national people, citizens, for the nation as a whole, and the welfare state will be established. So these things should be kept in mind. And here one more information, that we have published our books. This is the complete kit for the UPSC preparation, and these books are available in Hindi as well as English medium also, as well as the complete JPSC kit. JPSC complete collection of the books is available for the preparation of state civil services, that is available in English and Hindi, both the mediums. And those who want to purchase the book can visit our website, can go on to purchase it from our app also. If you want to purchase these books directly, then go on to contact us from the contact details that is provided in the description box below. As well as if you want to download our app, there you will get various free resources like the current affair magazines published in Hindi and English, both the languages, free test series, thereafter free NCRT test series, current affair test series, courses, etc. And the link for downloading the app is provided in the description box below. It is available on Google Play Store, as well as you can also visit our website. There also you will get various resources, and all those resources which are available on the app, those are available on the website also. You can also follow us on our Facebook and Instagram handle, and please go on to subscribe our channel and press the bell icon to get notified whenever we are live or whenever we upload new videos. Thank you very much and have a nice day.